This is the Real Change Wilmington podcast, episode number 2, employing people who are homeless, those who have felonies, and other common employment misconceptions with our guest today, Crown Staffing.
So they have to give an address, so if they have a family member's address, or they can use Ohio Means Jobs, they will allow them to use the address, or the homeless shelter. Some of the homeless shelters allow them to use the address, so as long as they have that, and they have their ID, like a driver's license, social security card, or birth certificate, we can put them to work. So there's no excuse that they cannot find a job. We will help them, and even with their background, we will find the most suitable job for their background and help them out.
What's going on, everybody? This is the host of the Real Change Wilmington podcast, Dustin Pierce, with my co-host,
Emily Spencer.
Yes, just insert your name here, Emily. We have an awesome interview for you guys today with our friends over at Crown Staffing on Locust Street. So we've known Elke for quite a minute, and her boss, Kendra, came by as well to chat with us about what's going on over at Crown Staffing, some of the people that they work with, and some of the different opportunities and challenges they have with employing people in our community. So a little piece of information, Emily used to work for Crown Staffing.
I worked for the Crown in Westchester.
Yeah, and so when she applied for Make Shark, the company that we both work for here in Wilmington, I thought she was actually with the Crown Staffing in Wilmington and just trying to jump ship, which I was like, oh, what's going on over there at Crown Staffing? But no, she was actually at a different Crown Staffing and just wanted a more local job here. So there's a big connection there with Crown Staffing.
Hi, ladies at Westchester. You guys are great. I miss you.
Yeah, I just really appreciate how much Crown Staffing is involved in the community, both from just a community engagement point of view and also trying to employ more people by going to different job fairs and things like that. So Elke and Kendra bought us some gifts. So we have some nice cups for our coffee and...
good old jar of mints and box of nuts.
Oh, you got those too. What's in there?
Loose nuts and a nutcracker.
Just don't say it like that. Emily's trying to open this tin thing of nuts. She's going to spill it all over the place in 5 seconds here.
There's tape on it.
Wow. Emily also has to clean the office so she can make as big a mess as she wants to here.
I'm all done.
Try again. Oh, that went everywhere. So now that we cracked into that nut, let's crack into this episode with Elke and Kendra. So today on the podcast, we have Elke Haddix, Elke Haddix, and
Kendra Whitt.
And you guys are with Crown Staffing.
That's correct.
And Kendra, you're kind of the boss, so do you want to tell us what Crown Staffing is and how you got involved?
Yes, I'll go ahead with our mission statement: to accelerate workforce development and efficiency by connecting character-driven professionals with employers who demand the highest standards and staffing solutions. So, in other words, we want to help businesses in our community with their staffing pains, and we want to help the people in our community to get to work. Mm-hmm. So we get the beauty of both worlds, really, by helping up everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I am the operations manager for 4 locations. I started as a recruiter.
Okay.
And then worked myself up to the operations manager for Milford, Springdale, Mainville, Wilmington, and then we also have a healthcare division, which is a little bit different than other staffing agencies.
So fulfilling for healthcare jobs?
Yep. Okay. We fulfill for healthcare and then also industrial.
Nice.
Yes.
And Elke, tell us about yourself and how you got involved with Crown Staffing.
Well, I was working in retail for 17 years and I was looking for a new job, so I found Crown Staffing on Facebook and decided to apply. And when I was applying, Kendra was that impressed with me, she offered me a position with Crown Staffing, which has been the best thing that's happened to me in 2022.
So you applied for a job that Crown Staffing was trying to fulfill?
No, I actually applied for a job through Crown Staffing to try and get another job.
Okay.
But then Kendra was saying, well, we're looking for someone and you seem to be the suitable person, so do you want to interview? Okay. And so I interviewed with her and then they offered me the job.
Nice. And what makes you guys different than other staffing agencies out there?
So our communication, I think, sets us apart from other staffing agencies. And then we have also many other options to offer. So we do temp to hire, we do direct to hire, and they're also totally 100% customizable to our client needs. And then our customer service is always, we always want to set the wow factor.
The other thing that Crown Staffing does is once you start working for them, after 30 days you can actually get insurance through Crown Staffing, which is what impressed me as well when I actually applied through Crown Staffing, because a lot of agencies don't offer that. So at least you know that you can get insurance. If you want to stay a temp employee, you can stay a temp employee, but you also have the option to be hired on permanently by the companies that work with us.
Nice.
And then you also get, after you work 1,500 hours, we give you vacation and holiday pay too. You get 6 paid holidays.
Do you have a lot of people that bounce around jobs?
So I wouldn't say bounce around, but like you just have to find their niche.
Okay.
So like you have certain people that might go to a job or 3 jobs and it just might not be what they're looking for. So you just have to have that real conversation with them and say, what do you want to do in life? You know, have that conversation with them, and then, you know, their 4th job, you might get them to a packer position, and then that might be where they get temp to hire. And then a lot of people think that, you know, like staffing agencies is just temporary work. No, our ultimate job is to get you converted over and to get you hired on by our company, because 90% of our jobs is temp to hire. Our clients are looking to get you converted over, to get you hired on, as long as you have good attendance, as long as you are committed to them.
But the employee would have the benefit and this like security of having those benefits in place if they do have to bounce around jobs or to find their niche. That they have the benefits, they have the health insurance.
Yes.
While they search for what's the best fit. Nice.
We offer those benefits through us, yes, until they get converted over, and then the employer will offer it to them. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very cool. You guys are also pretty involved in the community. So I know that Make Shark, the company that Emily and I work for, did the trick or treat in the park and built a giant pirate ship and passed out candy to the kids. I guess you guys were there too, but I didn't even see you. So
yeah, we were dressed up as a cat and a dog.
Oh yeah.
Right next to the sheriff.
What did you guys pass out?
We passed out bags of candy, and then we did loose candy because I believe there was 500 children, and we weren't prepared for that many children. But I believe everybody was happy with what they got. So we know for next year to be a little bit more prepared.
Yeah,
okay.
The turnout was definitely crazy. We had emailed Jermaine, the man who runs the parks and rec stuff out there, and he said that they had about 500 kids in 2021. Mm-hmm. So that's what we prepared for, and we ended up giving out loose candy too.
So that was our 2nd year of doing it. So every year it seems to grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
So we were gonna ask to help get people to know you guys personally, or just something funny, what your favorite Halloween costume was growing up as a kid.
Mickey Mouse.
Okay, are you from the States? You have an accent.
No, I'm originally from South Africa.
Okay.
And I lived in the UK for 12 years. I worked in Germany for 2 years.
Wow.
And I ended up in the US meeting my husband on the internet. And I've been
Before you got here or after you got here?
No, that was the reason I came to the States, because I met him on Yahoo Messenger, and we've been married 20 years in February.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And she speaks German.
Wow.
Yes, I'm German origin, so I'm fluent in German.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Very cool.
But I'm loving the experience in the States. I learn something new every day.
What was the most unique experience you had when you came here?
That not all houses have swimming pools.
Really? Okay.
From watching Dallas on TV years ago, I guess I thought every American is rich and has a swimming pool, but I've come to realize that is not the case.
Okay. So Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is my favorite. It'll always be. And I saw quite a few little Mickey Mouses at the trunk or treat.
Nice, nice.
What is your favorite?
Growing up as a kid?
Uh-huh.
I remember when I was little, my mom made me this like Power Ranger costume, this little like that she made herself.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember ever wearing it, but I remember like seeing it in the closet a lot, and that was my favorite costume.
It was in the closet a lot.
Yeah. But yeah. Kendra, what about you?
The only thing I can remember is Dorothy off of Wizard of Oz.
Me too.
Is that
Really?
something? Like,
Yeah,
is
when it's
that
Dorothy.
something? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a little dog in a basket?
I mean, yeah.
To go out? Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta have the glitter shoes.
Right, the red
The
shoes.
dress.
Right, the
Just don't get
heels.
it. It's a woman thing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
It's always a good turnout for that event. We are pretty busy in the community. We're always digging into the job fairs and any other community events that are going on. We're really big into the chamber. We do all of the chamber events that we can get into.
Like I've seen Katie at a lot of events.
Katie, Elke, myself, we usually always go. We also do supplies donation at school. Wilmington has we do a donation, a box, and you donate school supplies for Wilmington.
Do you guys work with like high school age students too, or no?
We do at the
Laurel
Oaks. We also do resume building. Anyone that comes into our office, we will build a resume for them as well. So you can stop in, we'll help them build resumes. And I know Amanda at
Ohio
Means Jobs, she will do that as well too. We work closely with
together
them.
with them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we do job fairs up there with her as well.
We did 25 days of Christmas for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you guys involved with that? Did you guys give out a prize or something?
Yes.
We did, yes.
Okay.
We did a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then everybody
Yeah.
that signed up, new recruits got entered into the prize draw.
Oh, nice. Did anyone come by to get the Bluetooth speaker?
Not yet.
Not yet. We have the box with the name. We have the name
Oh, yeah?
still, so we gotta get a hold of Desi to get it picked up.
But I just emailed Desi, and I believe the Chamber of Commerce is closed till next week, so
Okay.
hopefully she can reach out and they can come and pick it up. Because we'd love to see them at Crown Staffing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also did a gift.
Yeah, we did get 2 gifts, a funny one and like a more serious one.
Yeah. So I guess no one wanted to pick up the butt mask that we
Yeah.
had available.
It was
So
a small
Yeah, I
kit
seen
with
your
the butt
guys'
mask.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's still here if you want it. Know who you are.
Could always be a Valentine's gift.
Very romantic gift too. Yeah. The next thing we want to segue into is talking about COVID. So obviously COVID affected everybody differently. And how did COVID affect the job market here in Wilmington, and how are things different now?
We thrived during COVID. Our sales, obviously went up, but staffing agencies, for us was a good thing. We barely laid anyone off.
So COVID didn't really affect you guys in a bad way, only
No,
positive.
No. I guess I would say the only thing with COVID is the only challenge with COVID is client-wise. So it made it a little bit more, certain clients, a little bit more challenging, because certain clients, when it comes to some clients with the food industry, require vaccinations. So we had to look and dig a little bit deeper with certain clients that require vaccination cards. So.
Mhm.
I think if they didn't have it, then companies were testing them weekly too. So
That was a little challenging.
Something that I've heard is that post-COVID, there's a percentage of the population that doesn't want to go back to work anymore. Have you experienced that at all, or is that just a myth?
Yes, that has been a challenge. We're seeing more business and not enough workers. So yes, that has been a challenge. But I feel like we're on the midst of that.
Okay.
We're seeing more people come into the office now,
Okay.
so more orders are being filled.
Nice.
So yes,
Cool. So things are better than.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
we're on the trends of looking positive.
Yeah, especially in Wilmington, we definitely are getting more business walking in the door now.
Yes, yeah.
So the next thing I want to talk about, which is a big portion of the rest of the podcast, is going to be just misconceptions about staffing agencies. So I know that Elke, you mentioned a lot to me earlier. As far as misconceptions go, what type of person would work with a staffing agency?
Anyone.
Anyone. Okay.
So anyone can work for a staffing agency. I think a lot of people are afraid to use a staffing agency because they look down upon a staffing agency, because a lot of people, they think that they're being feed for it, charged.
Right.
The workers or the businesses?
The workers.
Okay.
So you're not being charged.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get deducted out of your paycheck. There is no fee. And then also they don't think that they're going to be hired on.
Okay.
So 90% of our jobs are temp to hire, as long as you have good attendance and you show up and you do a good job.
Yeah.
And then you get converted over. And it's not by 90 days, it's usually by 520 hours.
Okay.
I think the other thing is people are afraid because a lot of companies will say, do you have a resume? And they go, no. So that's how they don't get a job. But they need to realize with Crown Staffing, you come in and you fill a profile sheet out and we will help you with your resume.
Mm-hmm.
We also have jobs that are direct send. that you don't have to go to an interview for, because I find a lot of people don't want to go for interviews, so we do have those positions where you can just come in the office today and start tomorrow without an interview, and you can still get hired on with good performance and attendance.
And a lot of companies tend to use staffing agencies nowadays because they want to try you out first and before they put you on their insurance, before they go through the hassle of you come in and see if you like the job and try you out first before you come in, do all the paperwork, go through the orientation, and then you start the job and you walk out the next day. So this really helps employers save time on their end as well, because it takes us an hour at most, get you onboarded, get you into our system, and bam, you're off to the client, and the client has you starting the next day. And then you're on our payroll and you're paid next week. And you're paid weekly through Crown. Most places you're paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing that people like is you're paid every week, you don't have to worry about anything, and you start immediately.
And then what are some misconceptions from an employer's point of view, like the hesitancy to maybe use a staffing agency?
I think a lot of people are maybe cost, and the biggest thing is with Crown, we're totally customizable. So we can work with anyone.
You mean like if it's a smaller business who can't afford like a giant upfront fee to hire someone on, you'll make a plan to be able to hire. Yeah.
Right. And then also, I would say maybe they worked with another agency before.
Burned once before.
Yes, and maybe their communication wasn't up to par. That's not what we're gonna give you. Like our communication, like we brand on our communication. You're gonna get communication in the morning, communication at night. We might be overbearing, but we'd rather over communicate than under communicate.
I can definitely vouch for that too, because so Make Shark, the company Emily and I work for, used Crown Staffing initially to find a office manager here, which Emily is now that person. So,
Hey, Emily.
but yeah, Elke definitely like very much over communicated, and I appreciate it. Even like when we're done hiring, she continued to reach out and ask if we needed anything, just to check in and be friendly. I really appreciated that. So.
Yes, that's definitely what I preach to all my recruiters. I'm like, that's what you better be doing. If not, we got problems.
It definitely is, yeah.
Awesome. So that's what we brand on. That's what we have. At the end of the day, that's what we have. And that's what sets us apart too. That's what sets us apart as a staffing agency is our communication, and that's what we strive on, and that's what we want Wilmington to know.
Yeah, and you're very easy to work with too.
Yes.
You're very accommodating. So Make Shark's a small business, and we didn't have like a giant sum of money to hire someone on, and weren't getting any luck finding somebody. And you guys had like a plan where it was like a percentage of the salary I have to pay for the employee, which was totally doable. I didn't have to deal with all the taxes or workers' comp. Like you guys handled all of that.
Yes, we handle all of that.
So like it's a little bit of money extra that I'd be paying anyways, but I get to work with you guys who understand all of that and can help me out. So
yeah, we handle all of that for you, and we want to take the stress off of businesses, and we want to become a partner.
Yeah.
We want to become a partner to our community.
So we have an issue in Wilmington of homelessness. Homelessness is an issue here, and there's like the chicken and the egg concept of like you need a job, but you need a house first to get the job. And what I heard from you, Elke, is that you've actually been able to employ people who don't have a house.
Right.
So how does that work? Tell me a little bit about that. Yeah.
So they have to give an address, so if they have a family member's address, or they can use, Ohio Means Jobs, they will allow them to use the address, or the homeless shelter. Some of the homeless shelters allow them to use the address, so long as they have that, and they have their ID, like a driver's license, social security card, or birth certificate, we can put them to work. So there is no excuse that they cannot find a job. We will help them, and even with their background, we will find the most suitable job for their background and help them out.
Yeah.
So we do have actually quite a few homeless people working for us. And we also do a referral program, so they've been referring other people. We pay, so when they refer somebody and that person works 100 hours, they will get $100 for that person.
And then we'll help them get resources too for transportation and stuff like that as well.
So you were talking about like what a person needs for a staffing agency. Do you ever get people that come in and they say, well, I'm here, and they don't have anything? What are those things that people should be bringing with them when they want to come to Crown to find employment?
Just 2 forms of ID is the main thing they really need, and themselves. We'll do the rest for them.
2 forms of I-9 documentation.
Okay.
Yes, which is, their driver's license, their social security card, their birth certificate, or their if they have a passport, or if they have like their
State ID or
their state ID.
I also want to mention that we do have Spanish-friendly jobs, so if there's anybody that doesn't speak English, we do have recruiters that are fluent in Spanish, and we have documentation in Spanish that they can complete.
Okay.
So
I will say, great point, Elke. That's another thing that I think really sets Crown apart. We've built our team very diverse. In Springdale, we have 2 Spanish recruiters.
So when someone works with Crown Staffing, they have access to all your other locations too, and all the jobs that they have as well, right?
So we're all linked together and we all serve it. It's unique how we work. We, just because Wilmington is, serves this community, Springdale, Milford, Mainville, they all can see Wilmington's orders, and they all assign people to Wilmington's orders too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so transportation, you said you help people get transportation to these jobs as well. How does that work? Like, is it the company providing it, or I don't think you guys provide it, do you?
We do not provide transportation, but we work with Wilmington's city transportation and then Hillsborough's city transportation to help transport them back and forth to a couple of our clients here locally in Wilmington.
And what about people who have a 3rd shift job? Is there a solution for them right now, or is that an issue?
We have not had an issue with that yet.
Okay.
No.
So people who work 3rd shift are able to get to work as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Going back to the point, people who are homeless, can you speak to why someone would why someone would be homeless and still work? Are they working to get a house, or do they just working and they like to be homeless, or what's that dynamic there?
I think, there are a few that come in that choose to be homeless, but obviously they still want to have some kind of quality of life. They just don't want to have to pay bills, but they want to have pocket money so they can feed themselves and clothe themselves, maybe send money to family somewhere else.
Okay.
And then the other ones are getting back on their feet because they may have had some kind of addiction. And so we've actually had people that came in that were homeless but now have got a place to stay because they have to prove that they're working to get more assistance.
I'm sure that's a great feeling for you.
Oh,
And
yes.
obviously it feels great in the community to see people getting back on their feet and see people, making that change for a better quality of life.
Right.
Yeah, and we do a lot of the verifications and stuff like that too for them to get like the the assistance and stuff like that, to get the homes, to what I mean. So to see them go from the homeless shelter to get to do that is phenomenal.
What does that look like, helping them to do that? Like what do they need, I guess, from you?
So, we do the payroll printouts and stuff like that
Okay.
for the verifications for
see.
the income.
Gotcha.
To get to help them.
Yeah, so they need proof that they're working for someone, and so they have to have a job to get that verification. But once they've had the one paycheck, then they can take it to the offices where they get the help for the accommodation or the food stamps or the clothing.
Yeah.
But they need that little bit of proof. So that gives them confidence and hope. And we've had a few people say if they hadn't come to Crown, they wouldn't have had the hope that there was a future. So that makes us feel really good that we have helped them in that sense.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
They can just pop in if they feel down about something. They just pop in and say hi and see Katie and my smiley face, and then they just get back on their way.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them pop in and say that they send referrals in and stuff like that when I'm in the office. So it's been great to see. And you can always go to the Google reviews on
Google.
Yes. A good thing.
Google reviews, where are those at?
And then Facebook too. All of our jobs are listed on Facebook too. So those are great.
Yeah, we share those locally actually with Hillsborough, Blanchester. I share it in Harveysburg, Waynesville, so people can see what jobs we have available. If they don't have access to go on Indeed, a lot of people are actually on Facebook looking for us over there.
That's pretty cool. You guys offer a referral bonus to the employees who refer someone else. It's like a built-in Salesforce view, but also it gets people in the community helping each other get jobs and stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah. So we're big on word of mouth. So word of mouth is best.
nice.
Yeah.
Next thing I want to chat about briefly, Elke, you mentioned that some people face an issue with passing a background check, having difficulty finding employment because there is that like checkbox of have you committed a felony or something like that. Can you speak a little bit about your experience with that and maybe the need there?
Well, we do have some companies locally that are felony friendly, so we work with them closely together to offer them those positions. I know there isn't a lot in Wilmington, and it would be nice if companies did open up more positions and gave people a second chance, because they really regret their mistakes and just want to get back on their feet. And they want, with probation officers wanting them to get a job so they can get back on their feet, that, local companies should really help us a little bit more. But we do have one big company here that really works with us, and I know there's one other one in Lancaster right now.
Okay.
But we're trying to reach out to them to tell them, we're going to send good people that are reliable and that are going to show up for work every day. And I think once they get their foot in the door and we keep that going, then they'll give us more opportunities.
Do you think people have you seen people stay homeless because they have a felony and can't get a job, so they're just stuck on the streets, or?
Yes, I think there are some felonies that make it hard for them to get a job, so I'm pretty sure they're finding work, but maybe not the legal way, and we want to try and keep them on the legal path. Mm-hmm. So that, like I say, if companies open their doors a little bit more and work with them, then we would clean up the whole community and help everybody and make Wilmington a much better place.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like you're saying, the whole point of like people who have felonies, they've obviously, at least most of them, been through the system. And the whole idea of the American prison system is to rehabilitate these people who are offending. And they get out of them, and there's a bad apple in every barrel that's going to reoffend and go back. But the majority, it seems, they do just want to get back on their feet and they want to get back to normal life. So it's great that you guys are really pushing for that.
Yeah, and as a community, we should all want that, because we don't want people just wandering the streets. We want them to be productive members of the community. So
right, they could help the community and build up Wilmington and make it the most popular place to go and work, because we do have a lot of companies here that I don't think people even realize exist. Which we came to realize at the job fair at Laurel Oaks recently, how many companies there are actually in Wilmington that want to keep people in Wilmington. So there is a lot of potential in Wilmington. So wherever, but Wilmington I think has some better paying jobs than Lebanon, so that's why we get people coming here. And right now we have more jobs in Wilmington than we have in Lebanon. So that kind of opens the market up.
Is that because of the air park, or just
no,
even outside
it's
of that?
Different companies opening up more here.
I know, Elke, you mentioned wanting to do like a more centralized job fair, because there was a job fair last summer or last winter.
Yeah.
And having it more local where people could actually access it would be something cool.
I think they're working on that, right?
Yeah, we are working on finding a location that's more central for everyone, because the last one was at Laurel Oaks and not everybody has transportation. So we want to try and do it more central where people can walk to it. Maybe at the fair we were considering asking them if they would work with us, because like I say, people can walk. We have a lot of people locally that do not have transportation, so they have a bicycle or they walk. So that would be good if we could all work together to create that.
Yeah.
And I think they are talking about having a big job fair in the spring to invite everybody to come to, where they can actually apply on the spot for them different positions. You were asking where can they find Crown? So if anybody's on Facebook, they can find us on Facebook. I'm not sure if we're on Instagram, but they can Google us and then we'll pop up right at the top of the list.
We are.
And you, like you're saying, your door is always open, so we'll just stop by and talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Very
they're
friendly.
welcome to walk in. They don't have to make an appointment. We'll be excited to see them from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock Monday to Friday.
So, and they can text, call, website, our offices. Yeah.
And something that we're trying to do at Real Change Wilmington is to get that list of companies that are background friendly. So if anyone listening knows of those companies, definitely shoot them to us or shoot them to Elke, so we can help connect more people to jobs, get more people employed, and just help the community out. So anything that someone who's listening to this could do to help you guys out?
Well, if you're a business and you need help, you definitely reach out. We are more than in Wilmington or Claremont, Clinton, any counties, Hamilton County. We're totally customizable, like I said. And then if you're looking for work, we are open 8 to 5, available.
Cool. So we'll just close up here. This is our second podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully soon we will have our Google and Apple apps launched, so you can download those apps, get the resources, and listen to the podcast there. Any other calls to action before we jump off here, Emily?
If you visit our website and feel like there is a resource that isn't listed, that needs to be listed, you can message us on the website or again at info@Real Change Wilmington and let us know.
Yeah. So with that, I'm Dustin Pierce.
And I'm Emily Spencer.
Keep it real, Wilmington.